Tommy Retro here with another video. I'm super excited to show you my new acquisition, and that is this 1985 Chevy B60 school bus. It's got a Bluebird bus body. It's got a 366 gas engine with a 5-speed manual transmission with a split rear end. I got this bus school district fresh, or as fresh as I could get it. I bought it from a gentleman that bought it from the public auction. I was actually tipped off by a good friend that this bus was for sale, and I was able to link up with the seller and do the deal. So definitely appreciate that, and definitely appreciate collectors working together. So a big shout out and a thank you for the heads up on this bus. It's a 1985, so it's the first year that the emergency door was widened, and this is a shout out to Texas Street Man who pointed this out to me, and that is that this was the first year that the emergency door was widened. Prior to this, it was a little more narrow, and so the tail lights are surrounded by this black rectangle rather than the familiar Bluebird oval, I guess you could say, where the rectangle with the rounded design. So only year you'll see this with the rectangular paint scheme around the taillights. But super excited about this bus. Again, I came from Rulo, Nebraska. This bus served for Fall City schools. So Fall City, Nebraska, and this, from what I know, it was it was one owner, Fall City Schools, the whole time. They used this bus primarily for long trips, so it didn't see a lot of route service, but they kept it that long because it performed well on the highway, and it was a very reliable bus. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some clips for you. Just a little story on how before I get to the clips, but a little story on how we did this pickup and acquisition. We rented a rental car one way, so paid a drop fee. Drove to Rulo, Nebraska. So literally got off of work Friday at 3 o'clock, packed the car, or picked up the rental car, packed the car, headed out, spent the night in Davenport, Iowa, got up early Saturday morning, and then drove the rest of the way to Rulo, Nebraska, which there was a bunch of flooding going on in Missouri, between Missouri and Nebraska and Kansas there, along the Missouri River. So had to go out of our way to get to Rulo. Got there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Checked the bus over, did the deal, and drove it back. Forget the name of the city, but it's right on the Missouri River. It was about 50 miles worth of driving to get back there to drop off the rental car. So the rental car was a lead with the GPS unit, and I followed with the bus. And then from there we drove another, after dropping off the rental car, probably another hour and a half, and called it a day at a hotel. And that's where the first clip's going to take off, is going to be the morning after that, getting up and checking the bus out, starting it up so we get a little walk around video. And then I'll have another clip of driving on the interstate. So check it out. Tommy Retro here on location in Bethany, Missouri. So we just picked the bus up yesterday afternoon, probably about 4 o'clock, from Rulo, Nebraska. The bridge is closed in Rulo, so I had to do kind of like a J-hook, southerly trip to get across the river. We had to get across the river in St. Joseph because they've had some massive flooding down here, broke some levees. And what I understand is that bridge in Rulo will be closed probably for 6 months. So I had to leave Rulo, go south into Kansas, then come back east into Missouri, again crossing St. Joseph on Highway 36, and then swung back north on Highway 35. So we're in Bethany, Missouri. We got a couple hours, and we'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. So just stayed overnight here at the Super 8, and just getting the bus ready this morning. But I want to do a quick video. So here it is. It's a 1985 Chevy Bluebird. It's got the 366 gas engine in it. 59 passenger. It's going to be Nebraska spec for school buses. And this bus just came out of school district service. So it was a spare bus its whole life. This is what was explained to me. It's a spare bus its whole life, and finally retired in what would be 2018, and sold at auction this spring. You can still see on the windshield the auction numbers. It's got the title, and there's the buyer number 133. So I'm going to check oil and other fluids and stuff, give the bus a once over, and then we'll be ready to head back. We'll show you the inside real fast. Here's your Bluebird switch panel. It's kind of cool. This one has a tachometer. So like I said, just want to do a quick walkthrough this morning, show you what we picked up. We got about 8 hours of driving today to get back home. So I'm going to get the bus cranked up after I check the fluids and stuff, and then we'll be heading back. Plan is to drive a couple hours, take a break, drive another couple hours, have lunch, drive another couple hours, take another break, another couple hours, and we'll be home. So we'll take some driving footage along the way. Alright, so I cranked her up. She started instantly, pulled the choke out, fired, popped her back in. Now I've got her set about 1200 RPMs, warming up. Again, got a 366 gas in it. She sounds good. Fluids are all good. Warm it up, and we're gonna roll out. All right, Tommy Retro here. Eastbound and down. We got the 85 Bluebird with the 366. Wound up about 3750 RPMs. That means we're doing 65 miles per hour. It is running out absolutely great. It doesn't get much better than this. right, well, I hope you enjoyed those clips from the pickup of this bus. A little bit of road trip action, weekend road trip out to Rulo, Nebraska. Again, just what a great experience, great people. Everybody I met was super interested in the bus. The seller was great to work with. Just a super pleasant experience, nice to roll it into a little mini vacation. But had a great time picking this up. I look forward to the next one, which is going to be the 1982 Chevy Bluebird up in St. Cloud, Minnesota. So that'll be happening here shortly, and then I'll bring you a video on that. And then who knows what the next one will be, that's to be determined. But as always, I appreciate everyone watching my videos, and just a reminder of what I'm doing here, collecting these buses, and that is I want to preserve transportation history, and my goal is to collect the big six. So that's all the bus body manufacturers that were in business pretty much, you can say, in the 1980s, as well as if I can be lucky enough to locate a Crown or a Gillig, which were, you know, more prominent on the West Coast. I would love to find those. So the ideal collection would be eight buses, each one of those different bus body manufacturers. But right now I'm working on the big six. Being in the Midwest, that's definitely doable. And I'd also like to get some different varieties of chassis manufacturers as well. Right now I have an excellent representation of Chevy. I've got International S Series, but I certainly would like to acquire a Ford, and then you know, see what else is out there. I'd love a Lodestar, but just like anything else, we just have to keep scouting and see what comes available. But if you know of a bus for sale out there, and you know, it could fit the bill in the collection here, send me a note, send me a message here on YouTube, and I will check it out. And who knows, maybe it'll become part of the retro collection, and it will be preserved for future generations. So again, I appreciate everybody watching and enjoying what I'm doing here. I have a lot of fun with this, and I really appreciate it that that you like to watch these videos and you enjoy them. So I hope everyone has a good rest of your day or night.